Introducing the Couch Rider Raven Report. Let's go. Ravens, Ravens, Ravens. Couch Rider. Ravens, Ravens, hey, Ravens. We gon' ride out. Ravens, Ravens, Ravens. Couch Rider. We gon' ride out.
For some of you Twitter gangsters, this is just a hobby, original sports perspective. You can't stop me. Couch Rider Report, it's reflective. Please respect it. You will get checked, and your knowledge will be tested. I ain't the coldest Raven, but this is my show. Shout out to the Barry White of rap for the beat, though. Hey, welcome back to the home of original sports perspective. From our couch to yours, this is your host, Jermaine Lockett, your Couch Rider Raven. Sorry, we're running a little bit late, but guess who was on time? Cam Root. What's good, man?
But guess who's on time?
What's good, man?
Ain't nothing. How was your day? How was your weekend?
Oh, it was gravy. It was a good weekend, man. I just got to chill with the family. Did a baby blessing for my new nephew that I just met. Since coming back, because he was born on, I want to say the 31st is when little Colt Bronson was born into the world, and so we got to do a baby blessing. Yeah, it was great, man. I really enjoyed the weekend. Had good food, just chilled with good family. It's great times. Let's see who first made it into the room. Let's give him a shout out. Let's see. DC. Or is it D side? Might be DC. The intro was cool. Well done. Well, we appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming through. You're the first one here. Brooke is in the building, folks.
You'll be worse on your DMs on Instagram. I'm just gonna let you know that now.
Oh,
Worse.
What she did? She been clowning you on Instagram?
She talked all this mess. So I sent her because she couldn't find me on the channel.
Yeah. On
YouTube. So I sent her the link. Then I sent her the music. Took her like 10 years to respond, but I'll let you live.
Shame on you.
Shame.
All right, check it, folks. I just want to give you the shout out. We just, because of you, we sitting here at 11:55. We made it. So,
yes,
and we still building. We're trying to build, road to 2,000, folks. Road to 2K. This is what we're building towards. So tell your friends, tell your wife, tell your kids, tell them all, folks. We need those subscriptions. And just trust me, like, you're going to be getting content. You're going to get quality here. You're going to have a good time in this room. I don't care what other rooms are going on, Ravens related. I mean, there is a Ravens roundtable going on right now, but we continue to do what we do. Bring original sports perspective from our couch to yours and just have a good time chopping it up. Speaking of chopping it up, Cameron, you want to tell everybody about your new podcast?
It's called Chopping It Up with Cameron. Basically, I'm gonna get an opportunity. Well, I wanted to do something that expose like all the things that I love, pretty much. Me doing my music, my acting, this with you, just my fitness and personal training, health wise. So that's basically what I'm going to be talking about, and it's really called Chopping Up because I'm not going to drill people with questions, man. You're gonna come on there and have a good time. Have a few questions. I may, if you're in the area, then I may come see you. If not in the area, then we may have to do it like this. Talk and then put it out there, and hopefully, God willing, that the guests that I do have, because all the guests that I will have thus far are people that I care about and that I really admire and respect. And I'm trying to get you on there, brother. And I got a few people. I'm gonna try to surprise my father and get him on there. Especially being that he's my first martial arts teacher.
Okay.
See if that can happen, but I may have to just go there. I'm going down there in March, so I may have to just just rock with him like I did with my producer this past weekend. If y'all got an opportunity to see the video, he doesn't like to do interviews, so we just make it happen as far as like we making a song and you see what I'm doing. So some people want to do it. That's why I call it Chop It Up, because it's really there's no script. We just if I get a chance to talk to you, we talk, and as far as like question wise, other than that, we just chopping it up. We having fun, enjoying each other, and people getting the opportunity to see who you are and what you do and what you love doing. You know what I mean? And everybody that I've had thus far, you can tell that they have the passion that they have in whatever they're doing, creatively or business wise, whatever it may be. You could see the blessings that they have in their life as far as the talent that they have. So
Absolutely.
it's fun, man. It's fun. So I hope y'all stay tuned. Next interview is going to be. I plan on it to be my cousin this Wednesday.
Mhm.
His name is Michael Piercy. He's actually the one that got me into personal training, and he's worked for Under Armour. He's trained tons of professional athletes that I've had the opportunity to meet, especially football players. He went around, used to go around the world and teach how to use the TRX when it was first introduced into the fitness industry. He's also won, I want to say maybe it was like 3 years ago, he won Trainer of the Year award. They had it in Vegas. So he's a fun dude, man. We probably gonna act a fool. That's all we do anyway when we get together. So it's gonna be a part 1 and part 2 because sometimes I go there and I work out with him. One time I want to just get him on the computer since it's during the week because I know he's busy and I'm busy. So
All right.
Yeah,
Let's get ready to chop it up with Cam Rue on his show, man. So whenever he puts it out there, let's just be ready. Subscribe to the Instagram so that we can know when it's actually going down. Hey, Brooke, I need you to do me a favor. I don't have access to the We Are the Ravens flock to be able to share this link. If you can share it out there so that people can come in on the show, that'd be great because I know you got like 20,000 sitting over there. It'd be nice to have a few of them in the room.
please.
Let's move forward to the motivational moments. Today's motivational moment comes from Teddy Roosevelt.
Not me.
All right, so it says there are many ways of going forward, but only one way of standing still. And what Teddy is getting at, where Franklin Roosevelt Franklin Roosevelt is getting at by that is just, hey, look, you can choose so many different paths to make moves in, whether it be, starting a podcast, whether it be starting your own, going to the gym, hitting those daily fitness goals, becoming a rapper, becoming a movie star, becoming an actor, becoming joining the military, doing whatever your path is, but do something. Don't just sit there because if you're sitting still, honestly, the world is leaving you behind. So pick up and do something with your life and make it worthwhile. And I'm pretty sure that there are going to be a lot of people here to support you along the way. That is your motivational moment. All right, so we are done supporting Greg Roman. Usually we do a Greg Roman's still here, but of course Greg Roman is gone. We have done our moment of silence.
Big Red.
We moved on. I've supported Greg Roman for a very long time because I did like some of the concepts that he was one of the better run coordinators out there. Just passing concepts, it wasn't there, and we could see it, and the team definitely suffered for it. But it looks like he couldn't even get the job in Washington either. I feel bad for him, but who I feel good for is Eric Bieniemy. Last week we were all in on Eric Bieniemy and why we wanted him here. But why not here? Why did he choose to go to DC? What are your thoughts?
2 reasons you're gonna be the assistant. You'll be the assistant head coach. That's one. Whether it's probably gonna be a one hit and he's going regardless of the situation with Ron Rivera, whether he's on the hot seat or not. Right.
Right.
On top of that, we know both here and in Washington, he was going to get the opportunity to make the calls as far as playing the calls. I don't think, from what I was hearing, is that he was swaying when it came to coming here to Baltimore. Could be because of Lamar. That's what everyone's assuming. It could be because of other things. I think he made the smart decision. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. As much as I love EB and I wanted him here, I think he made the smartest decision. Reason being, one, you got less to lose. And it's going to be easier when you already have all the tools that you need and all the talent you need on offense, other than quarterback, because we don't know how good Sam Howell could be, but he does have similar skill sets to Patrick Mahomes in the fact that he's mobile. He's a mobile quarterback. So actually, Cam Newton he used to go to Cam Newton's quarterback camps all the time.
Okay.
Black football team. So Cam used to work with him all the time. And it's not that Sam Howell probably would have been a first or second round draft pick if he didn't stay in for a senior year, because he had no one to throw to his senior year at Carolina. Like all the talent left. Both of the running backs, Carter and I think it's Johnson, the one that went to Denver. You got Brown, De'Ami Brown, that's in Washington, and then a few others. But he has all the tools, so why not take that job? Go to Washington. I know it's going to be under new ownership. He may have a big opportunity because of that. And on top of that, he doesn't have to worry about trying to do much more than what he needs to, as far as like talent wise. They got 3 good receivers out there, if not 4. And you got a decent tight end. And you got 2 good running backs.
Okay.
All they really need to do is build the offensive line and do something. That offense has been at the bottom for, honestly, since Ron's been there.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the quarterback's been.
Let me say this though. I feel like there was a couple of reasons I think he chose Washington over Baltimore. The number one reason was Monken was one of the top guys that they were interviewing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it's imagine you got Stacey Dash and you got Halle Berry, right?
Right. Okay.
And they both are like, you're thinking about, I'm gonna ask one of these girls out or like that. Now, if Stacey says, "Hey, I want to go out with you right now," you know what I'm saying? Right here, I am interested. There's nobody else. I'm with you. We all know that Halle Berry is fine as all get out, and we want Halle Berry, but Stacey's just as bad. Then if Stacey says she want to go out right now and is willing, and she ain't got nobody else on the table, and we know that she's qualified,
right?
And she's telling me, "Hey, it's just you. It's just you." I'm taking Stacey. Halle, if she said, "Hey, what's up?" later on, whatever, cool. But Stacey said, "What's up?" right now.
Yeah, and that's Washington. I hear what you're saying, because they only interviewed Giro. They ain't interviewed nobody else. They was waiting.
Yeah,
and Ron Rivera he's under that Andy Reid tree, so he definitely was like, "Listen, we're gonna wait. We'll wait for him if he decides."
Here's the other thing. I mean, when you look at the situation that Baltimore has right now, Baltimore had a lot of guys going out for interviews, not getting jobs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Baltimore also was looking at these guys in the previous season with promises of, "Hey, you could possibly be the guy that takes over for Roman." Eric Bieniemy's coming in there, and he doesn't have control over who his guys are, because Harbaugh's already got his guys that are underneath him that are going to help out in those specialist positions. In Washington, he's got more control. He would have went over there with full control of who he gets to hire and what changes he really gets to make in order to make that offense better. With Baltimore, John would have been like, "Oh, welcome to the offense. By the way, this is your staff, and you can make a change here or there, but ultimately these are all my homies, and you're going to stick with this." And so I think it's the control thing is truly there. And I think, yes, the Rivera being able to take over, I think DC says it right here. Or is it DC or DC? He says Rivera will be done in 2 to 3 years. Easy stepping stone to be the head coach. I think that opportunity to take over is clear as day.
That's
go ahead, huh?
I agree with both of y'all on that. It's just honestly, to be honest with y'all, it's sad that he has to go through all this just to become a head coach. He shouldn't have to go through any of it to become a head coach, but that's a story for another date. Big Reg, what up?
Big Red's in the building.
Yeah, I saw Nana Raven here too.
Oh, hey, what's up?
And I agree with both of y'all on that. I didn't think about it in the fact that Ron may be done. I know people, kind of say that he may be on the hot seat. He may not, but it's the NFC East, bro. Everybody, it's like they take turns.
Now, I did hear an interesting take. I want to say, I don't know if I heard this on a lunch break hot take or if it was on another Ravens show, but they said that Harbaugh doesn't want anybody that could possibly be that dude that could replace him.
Replace him? That might have been Jose. Jose stays saying that.
Yeah. I was like, that's a very interesting take. You hire somebody that's not good enough to be a head coach immediately.
Or to take his job?
Yeah.
This is my thing. That's a double-edged sword because everybody says that, but the point being, like, that's really that at the end of the day, that comes up to the owner. Like, you don't know how good somebody could be to take your job. Like,
yeah, I mean, Steve Bisciotti, at one point in time, he was waiting for Rex Ryan to actually have the stones to say, "Hey, I want Brian Billick's job." He got mad because Rex Ryan's had a loyalty thing to the head coach, and he was like, "Look, you tell me you want this job, and I'll fire Brian." They was on a jet discussing this, and Bisciotti got ticked because he's like, "You didn't say, hey, I want this job. You act like you ain't want it enough. That's why we didn't hire you as the guy because you didn't want it enough."
Yeah, I mean, and again, look what you just said. Like we didn't know Rex was going to be a head coach.
Yeah,
nobody knew Rex was going to be a head coach until he became the DC.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't. Who's to say? For example, right now our assistant head coach is Anthony Weaver.
Yeah,
who say he's not good enough to step in for Hobbs right now, and you know that's so it's kind of I understand what they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, you don't know. That's just like I'm gonna give the best example I'm gonna give you right now. What's the guy that was playing quarterback? Since we about to talk about Monken, what's the guy that's playing quarterback for Georgia?
Stetson Bennett.
They were looking for everybody but him.
Yeah,
he just starting quarterback.
Okay,
but he just kept outplaying everybody. So he didn't look. He didn't have the look and everything that they were, that they wanted as far as to be the starting quarterback. So they kept looking past him.
Mm-hmm.
So think about it this way: as a coach, whether we're not going to see it, Harvard may see it, but I'm sure the owners are going to see it. As the coach, if you have the know, and the players are going to know it because of how you approach the players. When you hear Anthony, I'm just using Anthony Weaver for example. He motivates that D line.
Right.
Even when they messing up, he's telling them, "All right, this is what we need to do. This is what we need to do. We here to do this. We going. It's only one. That's only one mistake. Make up for it." Like he's telling them from a coach's standpoint, but he's also saying it from the player that he was from a player standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Who's to say he's not going to be the next one?
Yeah. And I still think the jury's out as far as like what Eric Bieniemy is going to be. I feel like yes, he's got the 2 Super Bowl championships.
Right.
Yes, they try to give him his flowers after they won the Super Bowl, saying he helped turn things around and got them out of that 10-point deficit. But right now, people are frustrated about Eric Bieniemy because of the fact that he's not a head coach right now. They're frustrated. Why are they frustrated? Because what do we see on the sideline sometimes when you sit here when you're watching the game? You see Andy Reid like reading this menu like it's Burger King or something like that because he's calling the plays most of the time. And when it comes to Bieniemy, he has a good piece of that as far as the coordination. So he is one of the minds in the room helping to help plan that passing and that run game concept throughout the week, which is great because he's sitting there with some of the best minds. He's getting some of the best mentorship. So yes, there's an opportunity to lead there. And I think he's going to be able to take that and do great things in Washington. But also we want to see people are wanting to see this guy. And I know it's wrong. I know it's dead wrong because we've seen special teams, coaches get hired as head coaches. I mean, who knew that they'd be able to go and win like that? But Baltimore's done it. And then there's other teams that have taken these coaches that don't have that experience as an offense coordinator, don't have that experience as a defense coordinator, and they've come through and led teams.
Peterson, none of the head coaches, none of the coaches that have become head coaches that were on the offensive side for Andy Reid call plays.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if they were the OC or not. None of them called plays. Andy called all the plays.
Yep, and it's just
they all got head coaching jobs.
Yep.
So
I mean, look at the defensive coordinator for defense coordinator for the Dolphins before the whole all the shenanigans and stuff. He was not really he wasn't even given the title for the Patriots as the defensive coordinator.
Right.
He was just basically told he was a specialist. And was not even given the title as defense coordinator, and then he gets the head job. And so, what is going on with Eric Bieniemy? Why does he have to prove himself along these terms? And then, of course, why did we not get him? That's like, I know a lot of people are crushed behind that. In fact, I watched a podcast. This one guy, I ain't gonna say his name, but y'all probably know. He's like the most emotional Ravens fan ever to run around Twitter. But he was very upset about not getting Eric Bieniemy.
Talk about Nitro?
Huh?
Talking about Nitro?
Yeah, Nitro.
Yeah, Nitro. He's funny.
Nitro went on a full rant. But the thing about his rants, it's emotional driven. It was not stat driven. I'll be honest with you. It was a fully emotional driven rant because the things he said in there with Monken, talking about Todd Monken, he made it seem like the guy wasn't qualified and he just wasn't going to be a good guy for us. And I think that was wrong.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Everybody, a lot of people being biased because they want us to have, because we have a black quarterback, they want us to have a black coach. I just want us to have a good coach to make Lamar. And first off, I want us to sign Lamar.
Yes,
that's first. That's first in my list. I wanted him to get what he deserves. That's first on my list. Second on my list, I want a good coach. I honestly, I understand that, and I want everybody to flourish that's minority that deserve it because they do deserve it. EB does deserve it.
Look, it could be Pedro Rodriguez.
It's been vertical, man. At this time, man, I need to see somebody make sure Lamar is good. Yeah. He could have been a damn avatar as far as I'm concerned.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, look, it don't matter what color it is. Like, look, a dude could be full on purple. I don't care. Can you run an offense? Like, yes, you can be an avatar up in here. Right. I don't care. Can you run this offense? Can you make Lamar great?
Yeah. That's all I care about right now because it was going, and the reason why I'm saying that, y'all, is because it was going so far, bro. Like, think about this. Last year, when we got Mike McDonald, we got him. It was January 22nd, I think we signed him.
Yep.
At the DC.
Mm-hmm.
It's now what? February? What is this? February what? Today's the 20th.
Yeah.
We just a month later, then we just now getting the introduction, which should be tomorrow, to Monken. Because we wanted to wait. And they went, and the only thing I do appreciate if Lamar, they say that he had the input that he did have.
Yeah.
I'm sure every OC, everybody that had a potential OC wanted to
we got to look at this.
What happened? Go ahead.
You just said Nitro is the Jason Lockett for on the YouTube.
Chill, son. Chill, brother. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Oh no, man! You gonna have
chill.
Man. We don't need that. We don't need that. Nitro, you good dude. I just know you emotionally driven, dog, and it's okay. We all have a passion with that.
I think sometimes, like, and I think sometimes he does that because he likes to be animated.
Oh yeah, he's an entertainer. I think he's entertaining. I told him, I was like, I wanted him on the show because he has that fire. He has.
He is entertaining. He's entertaining. And sometimes he some of the things he says make sense. But again, like everybody, we all got an opinion. Like Big Red says, Hobbs is boo boo.
Just random, dog.
We ain't talking about Hobbs right now, Rich.
Yeah, he already jumped on the wide receiver talk already early on his Twitter. He already got options at the onesie right now.
So, but as far as EB, man, I think that he made the right decision. Like, you can't force nobody to want to come here if we ain't got things situated. And that really, be honest with you, that ain't Hobbs' fault. That's EDC's fault.
Mm-hmm.
He should have signed him after his third year, his third season. He should have got his money. Like we should honestly, we should not be having this conversation at this point in time. And if somebody says Lamar's injury prone, look at your palm and slap yourself. You're gonna get injured. I don't care if it's in the pocket or not. You're gonna get injured if you're the leading rusher for 5 years on your team and you're the quarterback. Like, come on, you're doing everything. You got to play. Even if the King came out and said it, the GOAT Ray came out and said it. Like, he got to play Superman all the time. Stop making this man play Superman. It's going to be hard for him to do anything else if he's always playing Superman.
I feel you. I'm just putting in Nitro's information so y'all can subscribe to his channel as well.
Yeah,
to show him the love.
Yeah, he look, man. He may not be for everybody, but it like, whether you like it or not, it's good times.
Yeah, and with Nitro the Wonder Kind, so it's like I said, it's passion. It is hilarious. Yeah. He's got crazy sound effects. So definitely subscribe to his channel. Just pop in there. This dude has some funny rants. Some of it's factual, some of it's emotional, but it's a good time either way.
I hit you with the link so you can put it in the description for Chop It Up with Cameron.
We'll throw that in there as well. Now we moving on, folks. We're moving on. We done with EB. We done with EB, right?
Cry with spilled milk.
Huh? What happened?
We can't cry with spilled milk.
Oh yeah, you talking about just telling people to stop.
Move on.
Yes. All right. So when it comes to that whole EB business, wishing the best in Washington.
Hold on, Red.
What you got?
Wait. So we telling people to slap themselves? We got to at times. We do, bro.
Sometimes you got to tell them to slap themselves. Yeah, you get the baby powder out.
When they start saying foolery, you got to tell them to slap themselves a few times.
Yeah.
You got to tell them to slap themselves when they saying Lamar's injury prone. I don't want to hear that nonsense.
Yeah, that's
injury prone.
All right, so let's move forward, folks. We got a lot of people, like I said, they have their opinions on Monken. And so I had to go do the research myself. And I had to go look at other people's channels to see what was going on. I went from everywhere. I went to all 22. I went to Coach. I went to multiple people. I went to Murph, all of them. And they all gave a different view, which let me know that this guy is so versatile. We are in for a true treat. We are really in for a treat with this guy because I'm talking about 2021. This guy was number 5 in points per game, and that was in Georgia. And then in 2021, he had the 5th best offense in the nation in 2021. So I'm just like, okay, both years, 5th ranked in the nation.
I think you said 2021 twice, but
2022 and 2021.
Okay.
Yeah, so you got both of them. 5th best offense in the nation, and then 5th in points per game in both years. This guy is phenomenal. Somebody said he was only tight end base when he first got hired. But no, he had 1,000-yard wide receivers popping out the wires of it every single year. He was having a 1,000-yard wide receiver, whether it be at the college level or the NFL level. He was doing it big time. This guy is somebody to be praised, somebody to be proud to have as a Baltimore Raven because he's going to change the way we do offense. And y'all like, okay, well, what does he do? Most of the time I was seeing 11 personnel. Most of the time I was seeing 11 and 12 personnel. Mm-hmm. Now, the thing that he didn't do is the reason I brought y'all out here today is we have a player on our roster that we paid a contract of $11.2 million for over 3 years. And it took over 543 snaps for the Baltimore Ravens. 64% of the offense on the field. He was on the field 64% of the time.
You mean number one?
He might be riding the pine a lot more
they might
this year. I'm talking about Patrick Ricard, folks. Pat Ricard is going to be. He's not going to get the same.
You're going to get your wish. You're going to get your wish, brother.
Yeah, he is not going to get the most snaps as that he got before because this offense. If you notice, majority of the time, 62.7% of the time in 2020, he was running 11 personnel. 2021, 45.3% of the time, 11 personnel. 2022, 35.9% of the time, he was running 11 personnel. But if he wasn't running 11 personnel, he was running 12 personnel. What you keep missing, or what y'all don't see there, is that one at the front, running back. In Baltimore, usually we're running something along the lines that has a second running back in there if we're running split. He didn't run any split. But in this offense, we're looking at a weak halfback, most time a bunch set, usually 2 tight ends. And sometimes we might have 3 tight ends in there in that offense. Yes, there are going to be things that get changed up. but I think Ricard is going to be playing a little bit less on the field this year.
Not just that. Reg throwing out some stats. Go on, throw them stats out, Reg.
Oh, let me go back over here to Reg.
Oh,
Where you at, Reg?
When he was at LSU as the I think that's when he was the wide receiver coach.
Yes,
Dwayne Bowe.
I mean, and the thing is, this ain't, he don't just do it one time, two times. I mean, Mike Evans had 1,500 yards when he was over in Tampa Bay as the coordinator.
He loves everybody. Well, he loves two tight end sets, but he works with what he has. Because think about it, when he was at Oklahoma State, it was really like that was really that air raid offense. So he wasn't working with any two tight ends at all. Majority of the time, it was mainly Des, and it was blowing stuff out the water.
Yeah, and the thing was, like, I was looking at it. So I'm looking at one game to the next, and DC he is on point with this because I'm looking at the FCS championship game versus Alabama, and I'm seeing 11 personnel. They're seeing 12 personnel. I saw a lot of 12 personnel. I even saw some 10 personnel in there, but I was like looking at the packages. I'm seeing a lot of gun bunch and out of the B gun, which is pretty much the halfback sitting next to the quarterback in the shotgun set. We're not seeing anything under center. And then all of a sudden I go look at another game and he's doing a lot of play action with an offset running back on the side with trips out here doing play action and throwing bombs. And I'm like, wait, that is totally different than the set we saw the last week. I'm like, game to game, this guy is definitely different. He is built different than most offensive coordinators. So that's why I like that versatility we're going to see there.
Y'all, please remember when he was at Cleveland for that 1 year. I know we went 14-2, but they put foot to behind. I don't want to curse on your show, bro, but they put foot to ass in that particular game. Please remember where you were when we got that whooping against Cleveland. Okay, I mean,
he was the one to design those stretch schemes that helped us get lit all the way up on the ground.
Chubb had
we got lit all the way up.
Did Chubb had 200? How many yards Chubb had, Big Reg? You be calling out the stats. He had like 200 some odd yards in that game.
Yeah.
And, that's when Earl felt like he blew a tire. Talking about, I couldn't run him down. I didn't want to.
All that trash, he kept talking.
Oh.
Yeah, he got whooped down like Nina got a hold of him.
Oh, no. All right.
It's the truth.
Go ahead, man.
Yeah, so it's just, I was sitting here looking at the different concepts that I liked the most out of this guy. There was a lot of, there were some mesh concepts that I really, really liked. And this was in 11 personnel to where he pretty much had trips on one side, pretty much one stacked up front, two in the back. And he had a tight end on the right side and then a wide receiver over far on the right. And then you just had him running a mesh concept. I think I liked that one. And then there was another one where he has the zone running concepts. I liked how he actually had the guard and the tight end actually kicking out and doing the zone blocking scheme. It set up the run perfectly. And that's what's crazy. It's like, okay, well, he was successful running 200 plus yards per game and 250 pass yards per game. So it's like, okay, like this dude is extremely versatile and he doesn't even need a fullback to do that. So I'm like, is Pat Ricard really going to get left out? Are they going to find a way to incorporate this guy in? What's the story with Pat and how they're going to get tight ends involved and how they're going to get this 1,500 yard wide receiver, which is what I'm looking forward to because Baltimore just don't do 1,500 yard wide receivers. We never did it.
But this is the in my opinion, this is what really may help the fact that he's here. I know they're saying we're going to do an overhaul in the wide receiver room.
Yeah, we lie.
I believe it when I see it. I don't know if we're going to trade for anybody, but I know a couple of free agents that played for him. Mm-hmm. Odell had over 1,000 yards for him. We might get Odell. They'll put it this way. There will be receivers that will want to come here because of Monken, because of his passing concepts. He had 165. All right. My bad. Maybe total they had over 200 some odd yards, but I know
they just rolled us. Of course, I'm pretty sure if our little Cleveland Browns fan popped up in the room, he'll go ahead and pop the score out there. He sit here he dream about it. He be sleeping 40-25. 40-25. Chris, hey, what's up, man? Appreciate the donation. Earl did a great job of coverage. When he left, we were all time bad in the secondary.
Yeah, he was. He was all time bad when he was there, too.
Yeah, think about Earl. Earl is one of those gamblers, and when you have a ball hawk, you have to take the good with the bad. Earl was a gambler, and Earl wanted to do things the way Earl wanted to do them. But Baltimore's trying to take a guy that Harbaugh's already said, "Hey, this is my system. We're gonna do things the way I want to do them." And then he took this gambler with this attitude to come in here and try to mesh with that. And that's where things didn't work out because you got a guy like Chuck Clark who's like, "Hey, this is the system. I know it back and forth. It's structured. Earl, this is where you fit in here." And
Earl, let me
I'm
tell you
down
something.
watching the car. Y'all figure that out. I'll be there on game day, baby.
Earl, if Earl, and he admitted this, if he didn't listen to Ed Reed in the New England game,
Yeah,
Ed was trying to coach him up and say, "Listen, this is how you got to play this defense so you can get the picks that you need because it opens you up to get the picks."
yep.
Earl stuck in cover 3, bro, and he think he's still in the Legion of Boom. Earl didn't know what to do with himself. I can't give it. Yeah, it was 2019, Big Reg. He is a gambler though, but he's stuck in his zone though. I don't think he ever played man to man over there. I don't think he ever, how we like to switch our safeties. I don't think they ever did that over there. Actually, Chandler probably stayed in the box because he was knocking everybody out the box. So Earl just roamed all day.
I think he did. He just liked to gamble. He liked to do what he wanted to do. And I think you couldn't control
picks. Ed told me, "Yo, you missing out on picks." This was the game before the New England game. He's like, "Yo, you missing out on picks? Step back. You see, give yourself 5 to 10 yards more. Go back and then come up."
Man, there was games you would sit there and go back and see the film on Ed Reed, and you wouldn't even see him on the screen. You didn't see him on the screen because he was 20, 30 yards back because he knew, like, hey, I'm not going to get beat for this deep shot, and I dare them to try to throw it across the middle. In fact, he was going to the interview, don't throw it. Don't throw it. They're going to throw it.
Ed was so smart, man. I don't think Earl was smart. I just think Earl was he just knew how to play. He just was like in the spot. He wasn't a student of the game, a true student, in my opinion. Not with the foolery that he would say, like, it looked like they wanted to tackle. Man, we talking about and him return you around to use you as a daggone shield.
Oh yeah, and that was him after he talked all that trash. I'm like, why is this dude speaking this trash? Oh boy, but yeah, Earl is just Earl's Earl. But I did like going back to those passing concepts. This guy, one thing I liked about him is he likes smash. I don't know if y'all know the smash passing concept. It's a nice concept when you're trying to get people to get those post routes in, post or corners, because it benefits both. And you have the outside wide receivers, yeah, they got the small comebacks, but when you're looking at the slots and the tight ends, they are running your posts, they're running your corners, and if Baltimore can actually push that into their formations, it's gonna be even better. Put that and mesh and running mesh correctly, where we're actually throwing to the flats and letting those wide receivers work their way upfield. Then that's when some big things are going to happen. I didn't see a lot of that with Baltimore. We weren't willing to West Coast things, weren't willing to throw those out routes and make sure that we're setting up the short in order to set up the big. We were simply running to set up the big, and everybody caught on. Like, okay, if it's not a run, y'all go ahead and y'all get downfield and you cover Andrews, and we got it.
Let me tell you about, and this is just to piggyback off a lot of stuff you said. He's very much ahead, not ahead of other OCs, but he's very much in the loop of the stuff that other great good OCs do, like Shanahan, like the Shanahans. He ran a concept where they faked the screen one way and they faked it another way and then popped the tight end in the middle. The following week, I see the San Francisco 49ers do the same play. So it's not like it is a copycat league, yes.
Absolutely.
Even if you got to snatch teams from college. Mm-hmm. So he does have he's been in multiple offenses. He's worked with different types of players, but he's never had a quarterback like Lamar. This is like perfect. He's played quarterback himself, which is another good thing. So he could talk to, and he's been a quarterback coach. He's been a wide receiver coach. I think that's another good thing. And the fact that I don't think Hobbs can actually say or do anything much other than, hey, let's run the ball more. Because I don't think he's going to complain, because we never had the last coach that we had that was this offensive driven. As far had an IQ for play calling and designs. The last one was Gary Kubiak. That was the last one we had here.
And he left us and then went and won a championship. Just like,
Monken is looking to be a head coach. I think Monken just wants to be an OC and he wants to be back in the league.
Yeah.
And with that being said, I know Big Reg is not going to want to hear this, but I think this may help develop what we may keep as far as the receivers that are there. Maybe we may see something. We should see a lot better performance out of the young receivers that we do have, because they do have potential. That potential just doesn't fall to the wayside just because you come to the league. Like, something has to happen where you're not in the right system, or you just not getting opportunities, period.
Yeah, I see two wide receivers kind of getting shafted. I know that Duvernay is safe. I'll be honest with you. I think Duvernay is safe.
Might not be safe either. That's
Yeah,
what I'm being said, because of the money. Because you make those 2 Pro Bowls.
Yep. His
cap hit is now $4.5 million.
Mm-hmm. And then you got Prochet. Prochet is $1 million if they keep him. If they cut him before the June 1st deadline, then they can save $1 million. And to be honest, I mean, I was on a Prochet bandwagon last year, but I can't say that it's worth it this year to pay an extra $1 million. They're in the same situation as they were with when they had Boykin.
Yeah.
So Miles, same thing. If they cut him before a certain deadline, they save $1 million. Right. I think they saved $2 million with Boykin.
Yeah, because he was a 3rd-round pick. Prochet was a 6th-round pick.
And so with Prochet, it's just like, hey, that's $1 million that you can actually put towards somebody else's contract, and then bring in, or like work with what we got, and then of course bringing that big number one. That's money that can go towards that, and and still keep Duvernay, still keep Rashad, and we'll be okay. But it's just like, you can't sit here and pay these lower guys on the roster when they haven't done much, And that's Wallace too, and it's unfortunate, but it's just these guys, they haven't had enough time to get to shine, and then that timeline is up.
I don't think they're going to cut Wallace because his special teams activity. He's been low on the depth chart, mainly because we brought in Robinson.
But I can't pay a rookie to come in and play special teams versus paying him a little bit more cheddar.
You always all the receivers that we've cut in the past, they've gotten 3 years.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Wow, this would be Wallace's 3rd year now. If you this year,
I say Prochet. We know Prochet gone. We know that.
This would have been Boykin's 4th season if he would have stayed.
Yeah.
So I just feel like honestly, we got a gem in Tylen. I mean, I know if Bateman stays healthy, he could be something. I don't know if he could be a number one, but he could be a problem.
I think Bateman can be that number one if healthy.
Yeah, I think that from what I've seen, every time Tylen gets the ball thrown to him, he catching. Every time he out there, he got a block, he blocks. It don't matter if he getting the ball or somebody, if it's a running play or somebody catch the ball in front of him, he blocks. So I don't understand how, like, his position, everything that he did, I don't. Everybody may disagree with me. I don't think that Demarcus Robinson is better than Tylen Wallace. Like, he didn't do anything that Tylen couldn't do. It's just that he's more seasoned than Tylen is. You understand?
I think they gave opportunities to Demarcus Robinson right out the gate.
Right.
And I think that's kind of where that's where both of them would suffer. Both Prochet and Wallace suffered because of the fact that those opportunities that they were supposed to get got immediately snatched up right after that preseason game where you saw DeMarcus do that double move. They said, hey, this is something gold right here. This is what we need in the offense.
Nana got a point, though. Nana really got a point.
Keep wasting money on Sammy Watkins. We keep him pay Prochet.
Yeah. Right, Nana. You're right about that, though, Nana.
Yeah, I think you got something there. But you mentioned Sammy Watkins. I was looking at some tape earlier today, and it was on one of the top prospects. I can't remember. I have to get back to it, but it was
because that offense, they didn't have a lot of receivers. The best receiver that came out of there out of that Georgia offense was Pickens.
Yeah, I'm talking about TCU. I think that's what I was looking at. The TCU wide receiver, everybody's all over.
You're talking about the receivers. Or you went right to receivers. Okay, I was looking at the comments. My bad.
Oh no, what you talking about?
I was paying bills. I was just reading what D said. D's correct about that.
So you can't have 3 midgets on the field at once, in my opinion. Or were you talking about?
No, I didn't see that.
So
Um,
nobody asked for Sammy. He can go. Come on, bro. He's okay wide receiver, man.
a few up at the top.
Right here, is it Prochet?
No. Right below that.
Everything. Oh, you saw right below,
A lot,
especially wide receiver.
a lot of 2 or 3, like a lot of 2 or 3 star recruits.
Okay,
Right,
here we go.
at
Yeah,
Georgia.
and then he got 5 stars playing with Monken.
Yeah.
Like, he was able to definitely make more out of everything he was getting.
He just like he goes with the flow of everything. Tyler came out of that area. That's what Oklahoma State ran since he left. So
Quentin Johnson, that's what I was thinking about. So
Johnson,
yeah, so I was looking at some of the tape on it. Yeah, he's great in open space. It reminds me exactly of what everybody was saying about Sammy Watkins when he got drafted. They were like, this guy's explosive. He can climb the ladder. He can do this, that, and the other in space. And then he ran into the jam.
Mm.
And then that's when things got tightened up for him. He wasn't able to shine as much.
So that means a no. I mean, we're not looking for him.
All right, so what happened? So I said, nah, he lost me in an interview he did about Lamar. Who did?
Ooh.
Oh, you talking about Sammy? She's talking about how Sammy dissed Lamar in the interview. He's just a competitor. He wanted his teammate out on the field. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. He backtracked, bro. He was backpedaling after that. He apologized because he said he didn't know the severity of the injury. A lot of people.
And that's the thing. I mean, these teammates right now, they're in the dark about a lot of things with Lamar.
Yeah.
They in the dark about his contract. Some of them just say, I ain't dealing with it. They went on vacation. They took a couple teammates and they over here traveling across the world right now because they don't honestly know what's going on with Lamar. Humphrey can't even recruit with come to Baltimore stuff because the first thing they're asking is, hey, where's Lamar? What is he doing?
Pay the bills. Sorry, because pay the bills talking about, he said, we can't have 3 midgets on the field. And then he said, Wallace, Prochet do all hit about 5'11", 6 feet, which is true, but I don't care about that. I care about you playing big on the field.
Yeah, which one plays big? But I mean, like
big.
Buffalo's wide receivers, they're not crazy tall.
Yeah. What's the name? That is not. He only about 6 feet, maybe 6'1". Diggs. So I'm not worried about that, brother. I wouldn't expect all 3 of them to be on the field anyway at the same time, but I'm just saying that having the opportunity, it's just like edge rushers. They got to get the opportunity to grow. The only way you get better is playing on the field, not watching from the sideline. You ain't gonna get better not playing. You got to play. So what's the use of drafting if you ain't gonna play him?
Yeah, you got to put them on the field. I mean, they not getting play time, and obviously they're gonna get opportunity somewhere else.
Only thing I do
that they do.
The only thing I really don't like that Harvard does. Sometimes he don't really want to play unless you like a first or second rounder. He don't want to play young players too early. But if you'd have played and allowed these players to develop earlier than you, hold on one second, earlier than in their career, like a Zadarius Smith, if you're gonna talk edge rusher, or if you let these players play, maybe we would have kept him.
Yeah, he was what, buried by Suggs, right?
You let him play his full season, and he lead the team in rushing. I mean, lead the team in sacks, and then he outplay his contract. You know what I mean? Then y'all can't pay him. Yeah. So EDC he said he wanted to pay everybody early, so you can try to keep your people. I understood that, but it hasn't. Other than Chuck Clark, it hasn't come to fruition. He has not done that. He hasn't paid anybody.
He paid Andrews a year early, right?
No, he paid him in it was his 4th season.
Okay.
That was because that was last year, right? Yeah. He got his contract, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was early. I guess you would, if you want to say that, it's 4th season. I guess you could say early. That makes sense. But the MVP, we've never had a quarterback this amazing. I don't know how many times I can say this. He should have been paid.
I think honestly, he should have. What he should have did. Lamar should just went to the table and called up Kyle Bowler and said, "Hey, meet me at the bank real quick. just come to the bank with me, dog. I'm just saying, like, and be like, look, do you want to go into the dark years again? Because Kyle's right here. Kyle is right here. You can go get you another one of these guys right here, or you can have me, and then we need to go ahead and work on this money.
He said, "What'd you say, Bills?" He said that he was.
So
It's the same. Only all right. This is again. I'm sorry. I got it, bro.
Fine talents. These wide receivers aren't, which makes such as more suspicious.
It doesn't make it suspicious when you have an OC that don't know how to have a passing concept. If you have,
you gotta look how they throwing. They were trying to target Mandrew so many times.
Yeah, you gotta throw the ball.
Wide receivers.
Bro, you got all right. Best answer to that. Yeah, everybody's like, trying to for some reason, some channels try to compare our receivers to Kansas City's receivers. You cannot do that. First of all, they got a couple Pro Bowlers, even though they number 2s, and they stack. But if you want to compare, what up, Engrave?
What's up, Engraven?
You really can't compare because the passing concepts are there. Half of these jokers was open when they didn't need to be open. They weren't supposed, we had no passing concept with G-Ro. So we don't know what we had in any receivers. We do need like a true number one. We do need a veteran in the room that's not just a veteran. We need a veteran that's a number one.
Yeah.
Don't just bring
I can agree with that. And the thing is
I like DeMarcus Robinson. I do, but I honestly I can do without him. I'd rather see what we did have, what we do have, or what we drafted, and allow them to be in a passing concept. Like G-Ro had no passing concepts. Like, we was running this in JV. Like, no, this is not. You can never. The receivers are always going to look suspicious. You don't never. That's the thing that bugs me out. I'm like, when receivers leave here, a lot of times they get better, going someplace else. How does that happen? We not developing them. Now we bring in one of the number one coaches to develop receivers that worked with Adams, worked with Tyreek Hill, but he's not getting the opportunity. Right.
Yeah, he said he's laughing at you because you say you like him, but you can do without him.
Do without him.
And the thing is, I like DeMarcus Robinson.
I can do without him. We can.
I want to see him. I want to see him back. I'll be honest with you. I want to see the guy back, and I want to see what he does with the Monken offense, and I want to see Bateman fully healthy. You know,
look, I'm not. Again, I like. It's no shot at DeMarcus. Like, I think he's good, but I like him. But I was like, I'm not like. I don't know. I just don't see anything that he's done that I don't think the receivers that we have cannot do. Like, you're not going to get the opportunity. Just like Bills was talking about, Zadarius Smith was pushed behind the line with all the talent in front of him. Technically, it was only Suggs that was in front of him. They just weren't playing him because who was on the other side? There was really nobody on the other side that was stopping him from playing. He was listed as a rush linebacker, so he wasn't getting a lot of playing.
Yeah, Judon on the other side, right?
Yeah, Judon was on the other side, but Judon wasn't. He wasn't stopping Zadarius still was coming in there and mauling.
They were finding ways to middle blitz him. They were having him run.
They used him everywhere. So it's just the fact that he just had to get the opportunity. Sometimes you got to play people to get the opportunity. That's the thing that bugged me out. I was like, you bring in Sammy, but you got young receivers that are not playing. So how are we really developed? We don't even know if we can develop a dang good receiver because we're not even doing nothing. We got to get a true passing concept, and these jokers got to be able to get open.
Yeah, I fully agree. They got to be able to. They have to be able to create that separation. They got to get open, and I want to see what Monken is able to do with these guys. However, the draft is coming. Free agency is coming. New blood is definitely going to come in. Ravens fans definitely have a good bit of pull with EDC and how he's going to make these moves in this offseason. And I'm guaranteeing you there's going to be some fresh blood in the wide receiver room. They're not going to just sit here and stand pat on what we have.
We need a number one, but I don't think we're going to find a number one that deep in the draft. Like, we're not going to find a number one. We can get a number one receiver. Well, I don't think we're gonna find him where we picking in the draft. We're not gonna find a Jamar Chase. He ain't going. We had an opportunity to get a top 10 receiver. We didn't get him. We got Kyle Hamilton. I'm not mad at that at all.
Yeah,
because I think
I'll be honest with you. Like when I look at this draft and I look at how the Ravens did the year that Hollywood Brown was here,
yeah,
there were some things.
that was a reach.
Yeah, so Hollywood could take the tops off of defense, right? I mean, yes, he had his 6 drops. It was just 6, folks. I know y'all making a lot out of it. He had 6 drops the year he was with the year before when he was with us, but he still took the top off of the defenses. Right. And here's the other thing: this year, what did we try to do? We tried to get somebody to replace his production. We ended up going to get Deshaun Jackson because we needed somebody to take the top off of the defense.
They should have did that way ahead of time. We all know that.
That lets you know going forward what type of receiver are we going to go for in the draft. Right. We want somebody to be able to take the top off defense and not have a hamstring injury like Deshaun. I'm just saying. He's like, snap, cut. Hold on, put me out, coach.
What's my man name from University? And he can take the top off the defense, but he high points the ball. I can't think of my man from Boston College. He's about the same size. We're not going to do every. Come on now, Rez. Rez be wild.
No, Rez.
Rez is out of control. Rez.
Absolutely not, bro. Like we got other things we need to replace right now. Well, we got Peters. We got Peters who needs to be replaced. We need a corner that's going to be on the other side that's going to be top notch. And then, of course, we got edge because we got a lot of old guys that we can't pay this year that we brought in the middle of the year last year. They probably want decent money. Of course, we need wide receiver. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, Zay Flowers, Big Reg and D just said it. Thank you, y'all.
Yeah, so Zay Flowers, you like Zay Flowers, but also I'm looking for. Go ahead, bro.
Zay Flowers might be the truth. It's him and this dude from Fresno State, but the dude from Fresno State might not go in the first round. But Zay might be the truth. He might be the one.
Dude from Fresno State. You got a name?
I can't think of the dude's name. I gotta go back and look at these guys.
There's a guy named Mingo that I was curious to look at. He kind of reminded me of, huh?
We're talking about the cornerbacks?
No, wide receiver. Mingo. Yeah. It reminds me of Deebo Samuel. I had to go find that school. I was looking at just some notable names. One of the names, of course, is going to be at the top of the list. And like I said, because we're looking for a certain type to be able to take that top off the defense, Josh Downs, I think that's Carolina. He had 3 drops on 116 targets since 2022. 3 drops.
From where?
He coming out of Carolina. So I mean, he's got the speed that we're looking for, and then of course there's other speedsters out there like Jaden Reed and Nathaniel Dell, but Nathaniel Dell also has a lot of drops. He had like 21 drops over 2 seasons.
Yeah,
so that's pretty bad. And then Dante Demas, he's big and he's fast. So he's 6'3", 217 pounds. I'll be honest with you, when it comes to those tall gazelle types, I mean, you're only going to get like one DK Metcalf that come out really that's going to be able to have that speed and the height thing going for them because, it's not just about that. It's about their ability to be able to cut. It's about their ability to be able to separate. And can they put it all together on the field? Not just – what's up?
Light just turned on.
Oh, okay. Oh, here we go. Y'all clowning Hollywood, man. He said – Soldier Brown wasn't number one. The thing is, I'm not looking for a number 1 wide receiver. Right now, we're looking for a burner. We're just looking for a burner. We're looking for that. Can I get that Kadarius Toney element to add?
They got it, though, bro. Zay Flowers, he got the speed, but I can't think of who he reminds me of right now, but he reminds me of a faster version of Antonio Brown. I'm going to be honest with you.
Okay.
Now that I think about it, because
I thought he was more snappy.
He a great route runner.
Yeah.
He'll leave you. He'll leave you right where you stand. He get even. He leaving, definitely.
Let's see what DC said here. He said something definitely happened because D-Jax does not talk on social media like that. And I know he was talking about Harbs and Roman. So Jackson was mad because of the fact that the game or the concepts for Roman have always been set up for the interior passing and the run game. And if it, of course, if you as a wide receiver's gonna whine. They're gonna whine regardless. Every wide receiver that's left here has had something to say on their way out the door because of the fact that they weren't getting the rock like they were supposed to. And that's just how Roman set up the concept.
Of a Roman or just in general? What the heck is going on with this light, man?
Yeah, I think they were just mad at Roman because of the fact that that's just how the plays were set up that particular week, and they weren't getting what they thought they were going to get when they got here.
He doesn't. Again, he doesn't. He's never really designed anything for his passing concepts for receivers.
Outside wide receivers. New England did it for years, and then, of course, what happened? Receivers kind of either their careers got ruined on the outside as the X, or they just kind of went to sleep. Randy Moss is the only person that really thrived on the outside over there.
Yeah, because Randy came in season, so he didn't come in new and need to learn. Randy came in season and just ready to roll.
Yeah, and they would just toss it. Randy's got it. Randy had the speed. Randy was that go-to guy, and they created a certain amount of trust between him and Brady. With us, Baltimore didn't have that system set up that way. It was set up to cater to the tight ends, and then the wide receivers were maybe the third check. I think because you're looking at tight ends and you're looking at running backs is what they were trying to work with over there. And now that system's completely changed. So we don't know what we're looking forward to here. It's going to be crazy. I'm looking forward to seeing it look like the 2018 Tampa Bay Buccaneers when they were running trips on one side and having, concepts with rub routes and, and deep shots and just beautiful things, deep shots all the way down the field, just looking for things along those lines to make this an exciting offense that people want to watch on Sunday Night Football.
I think it's going to be, thinking about the playmakers that we do have, I think it's going to definitely be a mix of with Georgia. Well, not the plays, but I can see like a mix between Georgia and Cleveland. I know in Tampa they can run the ball for nothing, but their passing was like top of the line, and he loves to pass the ball. He loves to pass the ball as much as Monken loves to. As much as Greg Roman loves to run the ball. But I don't mind that because as long as LJ back there, anything possible.
Oh yeah, I want to see him definitely slinging the ball, man. Because here's what 2018.
He loves to throw the ball to the running backs, which for some reason, for somebody that love to, again, he's out the door, so I ain't gonna take too many shots at him.
Yeah,
somebody that love to run the ball, he ain't never want to throw the ball to the running backs at all. I didn't understand that in his offensive scheme, but
yeah, they ain't really run too many screen passes, but I think they did that. I think Monken actually does a decent amount of screens, as well as he has some West Coast concepts in there. But for the most part, this guy loved bunch. He loved running bunch with two tight ends out there on the field. I love those formations because you could see a lot of good things happening when it came to the draws and the handoffs. The handoffs were totally different. Like they were full on trick type handoffs or like that. You saw one play where he was just like completely had the ball hidden when he went to go fake the handoff, and it was a full on play action boot. I'm looking forward to seeing those type of plays from Lamar as well, having those play action boots, because if Lamar's on a play action boot, you already know he's got the momentum and he's possibly going to both upfield a good 10 to 15 yards.
I don't think that call gonna be here, bro.
Yeah. All right. Brooke is trying to get us over to a new topic here, but just before she does, let me go ahead and explain those numbers from 2018 that I'm looking forward to seeing out of Baltimore's offense. This was Tampa Bay's numbers out of their top three wide receivers. Mike Evans, 1,524 yards off of 86 catches and 8 touchdowns. Chris Godwin, 59 catches for 842 yards and 7 touchdowns. And then you had Humphreys that had 76 catches for 816 yards and 5 touchdowns. The third string wide receiver, the third on the depth chart, has over 816 yards and 5 touchdowns. That is impressive. Yes, it was Jameis throwing the daggone ball with his effort balls and all that, but when he was getting it out there, that offense was explosive as all get out. And I'm looking forward to Monken doing something along those lines with our guys. Let's go and see what Brooke had to say here. She said, off topic, but have y'all seen us linked to Baker, as in Baker Mayfield?
Yes. I don't like it. I ain't going to entertain it.
I was like so upset. I told you and Graven, no, man, I don't want to talk about it. I said, look, dude, I was like, this is not something I want to discuss right here because
Not in
I was like
favor.
very frustrated behind the thought of it. And that would mean like, okay, are they actually thinking about just having him here as a backup, or are they thinking about Lamar, going to see greener pastures and pulling Baker in as a stopgap?
And listen, you know how many fans, you know how many fans Baltimore gonna lose if Lamar don't if Lamar
I will.
don't
Look,
get the contract.
I'll tell you right now, he leave. I'm gone.
Yeah, that nigga backing up his stuff and just walking out the door. Like, that's like that, man. Like if he in the business of trying to lose business, Steve Bisciotti gonna be highly upset with himself because you're not gonna look. Offense puts butts in the seats. That was before Lamar. That's always been the case, and we have never had offense until Lamar came along, and plenty of analysts have said it. Nobody would be talking about Baltimore if Lamar wasn't there.
Absolutely. And that's like I say, just have Kyle Bowler. You know what? Call up Dilfer. Call up Bowler. Be like, look, you want to go back to the dark years? You want to pay me my money? Pay me my money.
Yeah.
Unless you want to go back to the dark years again. Y'all know what y'all had before. We're there calling up Aaron Brooks and all these other no-name quarterbacks to come play in Baltimore because we had nobody who's broke his down toast bread.
Everybody reaching. They reaching for Bacon. They reaching for Tua. Everybody need to slap themselves. Just pay them off.
The thing is, like, what we gonna do with the Tua? Is Tua gonna be healthy? Is Tua gonna have concussions? Is Tua gonna have injuries? Is Tua gonna be consistent? Are we gonna have to worry about like pretty much having that second signal caller ready to go?
Yeah,
I mean, if that's the case, we might as well go ahead and sign Huntley to a long term deal, and Lamar, of course. But like, we're gonna have sign Huntley if we're gonna bring in Tua, because Tua ain't gonna be healthy a full 16, 17 games.
I'm excited to see what Monken's gonna say tomorrow. I hope he says the right things. Like, I'm here because I love the challenge of trying to train a unicorn to coach a unicorn, because that's basically.
I'm looking forward for him to come out there and be like, "Look, Lamar gonna be great, straight up." I just want him to be like confident, come out there, you like, Lamar quarterback, Lamar gonna be great.
Yep.
I'm taking him over 4,000 yards passing this year. I'm taking 3 receivers above 700 yards this year. Just like, just go ahead and call it out. Call your shot. Call domino. Damn it! Excuse me, got me hot up in here. All right, Bruce said, just pay Lamar. I don't care about none of them other. Just pay him now.
Yeah,
pay him now.
Should have been paid that man.
Yeah, it's too injury prone. You as an absolute fact. And here's the thing: I know there's just so many factors that we're not. I mean, we know about. Some of us ain't discussing. Hey, like I said, it's the NFLPA grievance thing is a big factor in this whole deal, because Lamar is basically the threshold of the NFL turning into the NBA with guaranteed contracts. That is a huge factor that is coming into this whole contract situation. And then, of course, you got Lamar looking at Deshaun Watson's contract here and saying, "Hey, I'm better than him. Pay me my money." He's just like, "Look, I want it all guaranteed, 100%
On and off the field. I got the resume to prove it, on and off the field.
Yes.
And him.
And it's just the factor, like all these other contracts that went down to where, like, what the most has been, other than Deshaun's, the most has been guaranteed is what 170, 180 million of it has been guaranteed.
Man in Minnesota with Cousins.
Yeah.
But he's doing like a 3-year deal, whatever. Yeah. I mean, if Lamar wants it to be all guaranteed that way, then do it. But we don't know exactly what he wants. We know that he wants more guaranteed than what they offered. And if they offer him 133, they need to slap EDC.
Oh yeah, they can slap themselves with that. I mean, if that was the low, which I doubt was that was it. Like I said, most of this stuff's not coming straight from Jeff Zrebic.
Yeah,
it's not coming from. It's coming from these fake Ravens channels. I'll be honest with you. A few of them are fake rumors, NFL rumors channels, not fake Ravens channels. NFL rumors channels is where it's coming from. There are some other people out there that's trying to get some like traction on the Instagram by placing a couple of things out there. I'm not going to even call names out there, but just be careful when you see somebody saying, "Hey, guaranteed money wasn't enough. This is what they offered," or whatever like that. Don't pay attention to that unless it came from Zrebic. If it didn't come from Ingraven or Zrebic, I ain't trying to hear it. I'll be honest with you.
I hear you. I mean, Jeff did say something in reference to that they were trying to make him the highest paid player, second to third highest paid player in the NFL. But how much of that? The whole thing is this: if it is, so what? If it is 250, he's not stupid. How much is guaranteed out of the 250?
Yeah.
Because if you only guaranteeing me 133, and if I don't make it, and the whole guarantee is 200, and I don't make it, you ain't gonna give me the whole 200. So
no, if I fall off, towards the end there,
yeah,
you're gonna sit here and find a way to try to get rid of that daggone money. And honestly, like with players, like I said, NBA contracts, no matter if they screw up, get injured, whatever, it's guaranteed money. And then, of course, if they want to opt out of their contract, they got the options are there. It is a full-on player-ran league when it comes to the NBA. NFL is owner-driven on this because this is one domino that will cause a multi-domino effect when it comes to all these players' contracts. And the agents. We are forgetting about the biggest piece of this, too. If Lamar gets this big-time deal done, fully guaranteed, agents will be fired. Lots of agents across the board are going to say, lots of players will be like, you know what, I can do this on my own. Lamar did it.
Delta. Sorry,
Like,
I'm talking about dog.
Like, I'm going to go get my money without an agent because I ain't finna pay 3 to 6% on a deal. If I can just go get a lawyer and pay him about $800 an hour to go look at this contract and make sure it's straight and then say, okay, yeah, we're in. So you got to think our agents, like big time agencies, are probably inside the owners' heads right now, or at least in those owners' pockets, saying, "Hey, look, I need y'all to not get this guaranteed money. Y'all need to band together and not get this guaranteed money out, especially to Lamar, because he ain't got no agent right now. We might get full on fired, a whole lot of us, if this gets done."
Another thing that was interesting to me is that if you guys get an opportunity to go to the Ravens Lounge podcast and listen to episode came out on Valentine's Day, episode 435 when they were talking about the salary cap and Lamar, they were talking about Cleveland, the owners of Cleveland, and Steve Bisciotti and the other owners. That's all the reason why they were so desperate. Cleveland is so desperate, and the reason why they made that move to pay the money, it was because that's all they own is the Cleveland Browns. They don't own anything else. They're not in any other major businesses.
What you on, bro? What you doing? Right? You doing I don't know what she doing right now. It's just,
bro, you about to get unfollowed. Do it again. I dare you.
She tripping right now. Talking about throw Bola out there. I think she's trying to make a point. Saying, okay, go ahead and put Bola out on the field. But
no, but they were saying like the owners of Cleveland, that's all they own. Like this is not all Bisciotti owns. You know what I'm saying? Like this is not it. I guess it's not his main source of income as far as being a billionaire. Obviously,
Jerry got cow ranches and oil and stuff. I mean, come on.
You know what I'm saying is that when Jerry comes from oil. He had oil companies, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what Steve Bisciotti's companies are. I know the Browns. That this is it. Yeah. So
I think like Steve, he was like at one point in time he was the eighth richest man in the world or something like that, or was it he was up there, man?
Who's that?
I think Bisciotti.
All right. Well, I'm not talking about. I'm saying they were just trying to compare the Browns owner to him, and the reason being they were doing that is because why they were so desperate to put all that money out for Deshaun, because they know if they put that money out, they get some type of kickback as far as people coming to the games, this and that, so they can get their money back, right?
Yeah, I think the reason they did the deal is because they were out. They were out of the
whole. No, he was the way you got to really listen to the episode because the way he's a salary cap specialist. He was just breaking it down. He said the reason his reasoning for why Steve may be hesitant is because this is not the main source for him, and he doesn't. It may be some ego in there where he may feel like he don't need to put out as much. And I don't want to put words in his mouth. Just go listen to the episode. It's a really good episode. It's 435 on the Ravens podcast. The Ravens podcast, Ravens Lounge. It was a really good episode. It made sense, but at the same time, if this is what's bringing you keeping, unless you planning on selling the team, 8 is your ticket to keeping these seats.
I think he's committed. I mean, just like the Orioles owner was committed to keeping the Orioles and re-signing, recommitting to the city of Baltimore. I think Steve Bisciotti is just as committed. I mean, you don't go and do all these renovations on your stadium and make these deals with the mayor if you're just going to up and leave Baltimore. I don't think, or up and sell Baltimore. I think he wants that experience to be just as great for the Baltimore Ravens. I think he wants the Lamar Jackson experience to be there as long as possible. It is simply right now between the guaranteed money. Right now it's just Eric DeCosta, Lamar Jackson, the Players Association, and the owners. These are huge snags right now on that contract. And of course, Lamar is trying to get a number that he feels comfortable with as well. This is a negotiation, one that is closed door and we don't have too much say in, but there's a lot that falls out after this. Then, of course, trying to figure out how this money is going to roll out each year if you do a fully guaranteed contract. Like, how are you going to backload this thing? Like say the Saints, they able to pull out the credit card. The Rams, they able to pull out the credit card. The Raiders, they able to pull out the credit card when they make these big time deals because there's not a lot of guaranteed money. There's voided money in there, and there's just a lot of backloaded money that they have pulled out this credit card on. How do we do that with a guaranteed deal? I don't know. Let's pay some of these bills here. So let's start with Brooke over here. She's saying, we need a lesson in applying for if we let Lamar go. Some people don't appreciate him enough. Yeah, there's a lot of people out there don't appreciate Lamar, but I think when it comes to Ravens organization, they know what they got. They just got to figure out the right number.
We ain't got time to be letting them go, bro. Unless we starting all over again, and I'm going to be highly upset.
Nah, I can't do it. I can't do it, folks. I'm tired of playing Madden using the backup quarterbacks, which I was doing for years. I'm sitting here playing with Troy Smith. I'm playing with Tyrod Taylor. I'm tired of that. I got a quarterback now. I can't play Madden like that no more. Anyway, said that's correct. I heard that podcast. Bisciotti is a billionaire without football. Bisciotti is big in aerotech and other businesses as such. You're right, Dan. I was just looking it up just now. Yeah, aerotech contracting companies. This guy is on point with his money. Like I said, other owners, they find ways to make that money. It's not just football. Like I said, they into different things on the side, investing, and that's kind of what you do. When you got money, you find a way to make money. Make money, or made money, make money. And of course, you find, of course, football is going to help as well because that's a $9.8 billion business or something like that. I can't remember. I think that was a little old, but let's see. Let's see what Robert says. Needed Lamar to be the focus of the pass and run game without putting consistent playmakers around him, then made him play out his entire rookie contract. Well, the thing is, I don't think they made him play out the entire rookie contract. They were trying to get a deal done. It's just the sides can't agree sometimes.
I don't know, bro. I only time I think that they were trying to pay him was year 4 after they paid Andrews, and then he was like, "Nah, I got some work to do."
Yeah, I think. Honestly, if I'm an owner, if I'm a GM, I'm trying to get as much squeeze out of this, as much juice out of the squeeze as I possibly can.
If you trying to build, they should have been like just the same thing like they did with Jalen Hurts and Josh Allen and even Patrick Mahomes. Like Patrick was like the last piece. They got the receivers before, and then they signed Patrick. Like you need to bring all these things.
Yes, Troy Smith and Brandon. It was tough. I was still winning, man. I was winning championships, man, with Troy. Because I just didn't. I didn't have a thing for Joe. I just wanted to be able to be mobile.
I didn't think he was worth the contract. I hear you on that, Rob. Go ahead. I'm sorry, bro.
Let's see what he says. Bishotti says he doesn't. Excuse me. Bishotti says he didn't plan to work past the age of 65, and now he's 62, maybe 63, and he stated he's not passing the team to his kids. It sounds like, yeah, there is an end point coming for Bishotti, but I just think he said as long as he's enjoying it, he's going to keep doing it. If he gets rid of Lamar, that means he's not enjoying it. All right. So this Robert says, heck no, Baltimore felt Lamar wasn't worth the Josh Allen contract back in 2020, made him wait. Now they want him to take a discount. Heck no. Well, I think he was worth it. I think, like I said, the number, I just think they couldn't agree on a particular number back then. I think he was looking for Pat Mahomes' number, but then all of a sudden Aaron Rodgers comes through with a ridiculous contract, screws some things up.
Well, Rob's talking about that year that we lost to Buffalo in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like after that season, he wasn't offering anything after that season. They waited for Josh Allen to get paid. Once Josh Allen got paid, then everybody was talking about Lamar.
I thought it was going to be very close around that time frame.
They wasn't offering him anything.
Yeah.
And he didn't offer him nothing. Then they waited. Then the first thing he was saying, Lamar was saying, was like, I just got work to do. Like now it's like, I don't know if that was put in his head. See, it's hard when
I think he was just like, I'm not hearing offers at a contract right now at all. I think that's kind of, he was just like, look, I'm going to focus on football. I don't want to even negotiate.
Because remember that this is the end of the season now. When they talked. I don't know if it was it. I'm trying to remember if it was either. Yeah, it was either the end of last season or the season before that. He's just like, nah, I just got work to do. I got, but he's always like that. Doesn't mean that they couldn't talk to him because they should have offered him something then. You already the MVP. You done been to the Pro Bowl twice.
What do you think about his comments today? He put up a post on Twitter, basically saying, that he was, when you loyal to people and then they don't show you no love, he said F it then.
I didn't see that. What did he say?
So it was a post that Ingray put a video up, but then all of a sudden he took the tweet down or took the Instagram post down after he had put it up. Sounded like he was emotional about something to where he was showing a certain amount of loyalty, but then someone wasn't showing that loyalty back towards him. Showing that love towards him after he showed that loyalty.
So either people think he's talking about the Ravens. Is that what it is?
Yeah, and that's the thing. People get all emotional, and the thing is, it just some of it does line up because Lamar sometimes is transparent when he gets emotional.
Yeah,
he had the briefcase. He had the briefcase.
What happened?
He had the briefcase tweet, which meant he was just like business casual or regular, whatever. Which in my mind, and I know that I'm probably far-fetching, the briefcase means, hey, I'm going into negotiations. And then all of a sudden to see that right after is kind of matching up. Like, all right, we ran into a wall just for a second there. And I'm pretty sure
he had something with the briefcase.
Yeah, he took a picture of him basically in regular street clothes, but with the briefcase, talking about business casual. And then he goes in from there to go to actually to negotiate, or at least that's in my mind. I think he's going to negotiate. And then, of course, this particular picture shows up along his timeline saying, hey, he's showing loyalty and they're not going to show him love. And he said, F it then. And then Brooks saying, D saying this post may have been referring to his personal life. And it could have. It could have possibly been.
It sounds more personal than it sounds like. Than it sounds about football. Like that sounds like he having chick problems. Like,
yeah. I mean, like I said, he's tight-lipped when it comes to definitely his personal life, unless he's just showing pictures of them having fun. And that's I like that about him. He's a very fun-loving guy, but at the same time, like some of these stuff, it's like he's trolling the Ravens or he's just being cryptic as all get out. And some of them might be full-on transparent. But like I said, for him to put it up there and then to take it down immediately, we're just like, okay, what is really happening right now? He's scaring the heck out of Baltimore.
I'll be honest with you. He need to get an agent, bro. I don't know who's in. It's when people say, okay, well, Roquan didn't have an agent, he got advisors. It's real different when your advisor is the closest person to you is your mom.
Mm-hmm.
So she might be getting emotional in there too. People not.
Yeah, I figure LeBron James is also one of those advisors, and that might be stirring the pot a little bit. But like I said, this NBA,
Yeah,
LeBron's NBA mind, and he's
yeah.
trying to get Lamar to think NBA mindset, and
But
that could be a problem.
is LeBron really one of his advisors or just somebody that he talks to?
He's one of those people that he talks to. It's just
Yeah,
another person that he has it up with.
but again, LeBron always had somebody as an agent. LeBron wasn't his own agent.
Yeah. But
You
if you sit here, I mean, even if you just barbershop talking it up, which is what they did on that
know?
show, like I am pretty sure LeBron is behind the scenes
Yeah,
talking
I'm
to
sure he
Lamar
gave
like,
tips.
get your bag, bro.
Yeah, I'm sure he said that, but I'm sure Ray Lewis probably said the same thing. My biggest thing again, like if your advisor is somebody that's your parent, that's not probably the best thing either because
No,
that's
because that's a full on biased approach.
yeah. So
Like, you gonna pay my baby. You gonna pay him.
yeah, I really feel like I'm starting. At first, I was like, all right, I was with him not having an agent. I don't care about you trailblazing. I just think sometimes if it's going to be the way it is going to be, nobody if you negotiating, I don't care what they saying. Like I'm not talking about because of what they saying. People think because I'm saying he need an agent because of what they're saying. Like you having a difficult conversation with somebody that's close to you is just what it is. You don't need no agent when you're talking to your lady. You know what I mean? So I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the fact that you have to you need an agent because he needs to be able to put put the stubbornness aside because you're not gonna get exactly what you want. Nobody gets exactly what they want in the NFL.
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson got exactly what he wanted. That was a crapshoot, bro. He would come on, six with your funky ass. That's what that was. That was a crapshoot. It's not going to happen. Nobody gets exactly what they want.
No, yeah. So the only reason he got what he wanted is simply because he told Cleveland, "You are not the one," and he went to Atlanta and moved on. And they said, "Give him everything. Just give
Yeah,
him all. Give it all."
yeah, that's all it was. Like, but they said Big Red stupid. He said, "Listen, me and Lamar went 250."
215 guaranteed lifetime box seats, parking spaces with the names on them, and he wants a deal for the U8 yet soul food restaurant to be put inside M&T Bank Stadium. Serving
That's
food
why I
place for everybody.
feel like you need an agent just to be like, "Listen, let's hammer out these numbers. How close can we get to where we need to be? It can't. It gotta meet in the middle. Like if 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 EDC is saying, I'm just saying hypothetically,
Right.
say it is 250. If EDC is saying 133, and you saying, nah, bro, like we got to be close to that too,
Mm-hmm.
and signing got to be at least 150 or 160. Like, say you say, all right, I'll bring it up to one something. Like you can't say that he won't bring it up. Like I'm sure he's bringing it up, but nah, I needed to be 180. Okay, I'll bring it up to 150. No, I needed to be like I'm not. I just needed to be right because the franchise tag ain't gonna happen. We only have enough money to pay him on the franchise tag.
No, it hurts the organization to have a franchise tag because what happens in this first year, this contract, because we're sitting at what $24 million in cap space, huh?
No, she's talking about the franchise tag. It starts tomorrow. It starts tomorrow on the 21st, I believe. It's from
Okay.
tomorrow to the 7th of March, I
Yeah.
believe.
Yeah. And so then, of course, after that, they got till mid June to sign Lamar to that full term deal, or he cuts them off for another season, and that sucks.
He's not signing that franchise tag, bro. This is it's the worst feeling in the world right now being a Ravens fan. I'm sorry. This would be the worst loss I would ever have with them. I already broke my mug, bro.
You
That
broke the
mug
law?
I used to have, I was so angry at the game. I forgot who was
So,
playing.
bro.
I literally like crushed the mug. I crushed the mug in my hand. I don't know who was we playing. Who was playing? I know we was home. and it was just a stupid call by EDC, and I was just like, I mean, not EDC, by Roman. And I was sick. I think it might have been a Buffalo game.
Here's a good question here from Robert. It says, why should Lamar take less money when him and Andrews the only consistent playmakers on the field?
I never said less money. I never said take less money. Less money than who? I didn't say
I
take
mean,
less money.
you know, the thing is that Brady was a model of that. He took less money and he went and got championships. But I'm not saying that Lamar should do it. I'm just saying that this is what has been done in the past.
But
Now, so he decided to choose that. Like I said, I don't care if the dude plays for 4 cupcakes a year. That's just, I mean, as long as he signed a deal and stay in Baltimore, you know, let it get her 2 cupcakes every 2 years. I don't care. Pay the man, you know, make it guaranteed, and and make sure that he sticks around Baltimore for the long term. Now, how much money it is, like I said, I just don't care. Let's see what Nana says. She said Deshaun Deshaun Watson's agent played the Browns. His agent knew the Browns were desperate, which is why they threw the Browns out there. That Watkins definitely wasn't going to go to the team. Okay, so yeah, Watson didn't want to go to Cleveland. He made it basically clear that they were out. It was a great move by his agent, which is why I'll be honest with you, I think you should have an agent. Your agent is allowed to play. They have been playing these games for a minute. Imagine Drew Rosenhaus stepping in the room with Eric DeCosta.
It'd have been done by then.
It'd have been a war, and it'd have been done. And like Rosenhaus would have he would have took the Ravens organization for a buttload of money. I mean, I'm thinking he would have probably been close to guaranteed. Like, because that's what he does. He robs organizations of their cap. That's what he's been doing for years. When you see Drew Rosenhaus, and you see somebody signs with Drew Rosenhaus, you know they are serious about getting signed. If Lamar wants a deal, sign Drew.
Yeah, I just don't. This is not even.
Say you're a Ravens fan, you gonna put the whole fandom on hold? Hey.
Reg, I'm with you, yo.
I'm just the nightmare scenario. Yes, I am seeing this whole Miami thing. It is very frustrating because Lamar wouldn't mind playing in his backyard.
He ain't gonna go to. They're not gonna keep him in the conference. He gonna go to the NFC if we gonna trade him.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He going there, but at the same time, it's just like, okay,
but you ain't going like
work his way back.
He said the best. He said you could get 5 draft picks for him. How you know you're gonna find another? You know you're not. You're not going. It's a generational talent. You're not.
The thing we need to see is another Herschel Walker type trade or like that, because Baltimore ain't gonna do right by them daggone picks. I mean, they're gonna get something, but they not. It's not gonna be Lamar. It's not gonna be Lamar. And Bucky Brooks need to chill with these daggone mock drafts, putting quarterbacks in the first round. He gone with that. Look, he's trying to speak things into existence that we don't need to see. He was trying to put Justin Fields in our laps. We didn't want him.
Yeah.
Bucky tripping.
He it's a lot of shucking and jiving jokers out there shooting at Lamar. Ocho is another one. For speak for yourself. He's a POS. But
what did Ocho say?
He stays taking shots at Lamar. He takes shots at everybody. It's like he's just up there to be
the antagonist.
Negative dude. Like that's who you. When you were talking about the stuff about Steve Smith, that's who Ocho is. Steve just tries to be funny, but he's telling you the truth about stuff. It's just the way he was saying it. He's trying to be funny. Ocho is just straight dog and like, oh, I don't think why would they pay Lamar? They don't need to pay Lamar. They don't need like, and I'm saying to myself, like, damn, bro, he wasn't that great of a linebacker. I don't even know how many Pro Bowls if he got any. But for you to be taking like, and I'm happy that he's doing great, but you know, he takes so many shots at Lamar, and I want to know if is it planned? Because every time he's taking a shot, he's always trying to justify with numbers that really don't coincide. They don't really need him. Look at his numbers to Tyler Huntley. Tyler Huntley is better than him in the playoffs. I'm listening. I'm like, this is not all right, and the numbers aren't actually correct at all.
I think he's also scripted to be a Lamar hater. I mean, even when
that's what I'm wondering. I'm like, is he scripted to say that? Because I was just listening to the one that he was talking about how Eric Bieniemy. He said this about Eric Bieniemy today. Like, I think he made the wrong move to go into Washington. He should have stayed in Kansas City. Blah blah blah. Like, He's just trying to make sure he's staying on TV because
Yeah, that's all it is. He's sitting there trying to be the Skip Bayless because Skip used to do the same thing. Skip would sit there and tell you
Uncle Tom.
he looked at Arian Foster in his prime, and then it said Marion Barber was the better running back in Texas. Like it was clear as day that Arian Foster at the time was that dude, and then Marion Barber was a good running back. But as far as best running back in the NFL versus best running back in one of the top 5 running backs, or at that time, you had to go Arian Foster. And like, what was it? Skip would sit there and argue this, and I was sitting here on the show, and I got to ask the question to Skip Bayless and Woodson and all them about who it was, and Skip just had to be the bad guy. He wanted to be the bad guy.
Right. See that I understand what you're saying with that. Like, that's more to me. That's more, I guess, the way I look at it. When you able to ask the question and everything, it's more more opinionated driven. But when you the one that's you're not coming up with the script. Somebody else is coming up with the script, and the first thing that come out your mouth, you automatically like, this is why, like, Ocho keep it going with Lamar, yo. I don't know if he just keep it going. And sometimes I'm like, man, I'm done. I can't with this dude. I try to root for him, but I'll be done. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah, none of it just.
They did give him weapons. What y'all talking about? He didn't get any weapons. They did give him weapons on the outside. They gave Hollywood Brown. I'm like, bro, stop.
The thing was, I feel like the offense. Let's just say if Hollywood had been here last year, I think Hollywood would have made this offense slightly more productive.
Right, but the thing was this, and we've had this conversation before. Lamar's never gotten a number 1 receiver, and not just you drafted one, but you going out and picking up one, going out and trading for one, or getting somebody off the street. Like we've never done that for him.
Yeah,
never done that. Like Lamar said, people try to compare the receivers that he had to the ones that Flacco had, and I'm like, you can't do that. Q was the number 1. He just was a 1B at the Cardinals. He was the last real dominant receiver that we had here. He was the last one. Everybody talk about Flacco and Petter. No, you better talk about Anquan Bolden, because without Bolden, we wasn't going to the Super Bowl.
No, absolutely not. I think it was like a very set up. It was well set up that year between Quan and between Torrey Smith and between Jones. I feel like it's just a beautiful combination because you had the speed, you had the intermediate, you had two tops about the defense between Jones and Smith, and then you had that intermediate guy plus the tight end was solid.
Q gonna be the first. He's gonna be the first receiver that, even though he didn't get drafted here, the first Raven receiver to go into the Hall of Fame. He will be the first. Guarantee that. His numbers are right next to Steve Smith. Either Steve is going to go in first or he's going to go in. I'm not saying Steve Smith wasn't a type flight receiver, but we got him in his later years.
Yeah.
When we got Q, we did get him in his later years, but he was 30.
Yeah.
He was still dominant.
And also, Q got the ring.
Yes.
And Steve Smith don't have a ring.
No, he don't have the ring, but they're both going to go into the Hall of Fame. But I'm just saying, like, as far as, like, we didn't get Steve when he was 30 years old. So that's why I'm not including him as far as, like, a dominant number 1.
Mm.
Like, Q was dominant, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe he didn't put up the numbers that he was putting up in Arizona. That's understandable. But we didn't pass the ball. We didn't have the offense that they had, that Arizona had. But he was dominant. Nobody can never say he wasn't dominant. He was dominant. He was the number 1 receiver.
I like Q. So, I think Q's one of my favorite. I think I definitely got a Q jersey in the closet.
The reason I'm saying that is because Josh Allen got Diggs. They went out and got Diggs. Hurts. They went out and got A.J. Brown, and they drafted Smith.
Yeah. And Watkins showed up. Jesus.
Yeah. Holmes, when he got there, Tariq Hill was already there. You had Kelsey. They already had the pieces, and they still kept drafting. And then people try to say, Big Joe said, "Look at T.O. He's still available." But
Absolutely not.
But again, going into this year, now once you get to a certain level as a quarterback, you good. You can start drafting or bringing in receivers that are younger that you can groom yourself because you learn. He got number ones. He got Kansas City got number twos, but they do
Yeah,
got one that's about to become a number one. I'm saying it right now. And Kadarius, and I told you
I
this.
think Tony gonna be that dude. But the thing is, when you
Hold
have
up, player. Oh man, where's the list when I need him? When I was trying to tell you that, we need to trade for him. He's like, I don't know, man. I don't know. He's like, I don't know. He remind me of Duve. I was like, no, he not Duvernay.
wait, you said wait. You said I was in?
Yeah, we talking about Kadarius Tony. I was like, yo, we need to bring Kadarius here. He was like, no. Hey, Big Reg, my
Maybe I
boy
said
about to do me dirty. Go ahead, Couch.
I don't even remember. Look, look, it's a whole new year. Look, I'll be honest with you. Like it's just if you are happy in an organization, big things gonna happen. Big things gonna happen.
You gotta look at me.
When it came to
Boy,
Tony, I was like, "Hey, we're gonna have the headache. Right? Is he gonna be the headache that New York that he's giving New York right now?" And I think
that's
that
why
was
I was trying to tell you because I live up here. I know, like I live in. I know why he was acting that way because Joe Judge is a freaking idiot. Like he disrespected him. His first game, that game that I showed you, when he's at the Giants and he played against Dallas, he got in a big fight on the field, right? He didn't start the fight. The dude swung. I forgot the corner's name. He had got injured this year for the Cowboys. He grabbed his face mask and he swung at Kadarius.
yeah.
And it's just he's a young dude. He gonna react. Like somebody swing at you. I don't care if you got equipment on or not. Unless you don't want to fight and you ain't that type of dude, you not going you gonna
And
swing
at the
back.
same time, you on the field, you a competitor. You gonna
Yeah. So he swung back and he got caught, right? He got thrown out. As he's going off the field, this is a national televised game. This is a 4 o'clock game. This dude, Joe Judge, is yelling at him as he going up. Instead of grabbing him and talking to him like, listen, you can't do that. Like trying to help him understand. You yelling at him and he's animated. Joe Judge wasn't no real coach. He was never a real coach. I didn't respect him like I have tons of friends that are Giants fans. I say, yo, when you telling other coaches when the season starts, everybody got to run, even including the coaches. I don't get paid to run. You crazy, huh?
Reds. I'm wondering why Prochet, Wallace, and Victor not playing in the XFL right now.
Oh man, here we go. Here we go.
Okay, bro. Okay. All right. So look, I feel
Words
bad
about
because
Wallace, Reg.
the whole offseason
Words about
last
Wallace,
year,
Reg.
I spent the entire offseason trying to defend James Prochet. And I felt bad because I feel a different way now. Like my whole perspective has
Don't
changed
feel a different way yet.
after watching, like I said, after watching this season, it was a little frustrating whenever you saw penalties pop up. You're seeing all these penalties pop up and Prochet's name sitting right next to him, holding penalties, all false stars, all is just craziness. I'm like, what is going on? And then just not seeing the production, not seeing where everything that I thought he was going to be. Making that bet with the lunch break hot take, didn't help that either. I wanted to see Prochet shine. I really did. And it just didn't happen. And it's so frustrating that you believe in a dude and you put your chips all on the table behind this cat and it just doesn't happen. I think that's where my frustration is. I think that's why my perspective changed.
I ain't first. I was frustrated more with the passing concepts and the fact that the receivers ain't. We going into the game and we only got 3 receivers that's active. That's what I'm more frustrated about. I don't know if Big Reg paid attention to that, but a lot of times in the game we had 5 tight ends on the field, or 5 tight ends not even on the field, 5 active, only 3 playing, including the tight end. So 4 playing. Other ones are sitting on the bench, handing out drinks, and Wallace in street clothes
Mm-hmm.
because he got
so I'm definitely behind.
like what are you drafting for if you're not gonna play him?
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm talking about. That's the only thing that what people say that I do agree with. Like Coach Alves got to get out of that whole I'm not playing rookies type thing or rookies and second year players type thing. Depending on where you drafted, like you got to stop, get out of that. You go.
I'm gonna have to hop on this bandwagon with Big Reg. So I need me a first round wide receiver.
I need. I don't care if it's right now. It's either receiver or corner. One of the two we need. That got to be drafted.
Yeah,
But
they go offensive line. I'm probably gonna throw some furniture.
yeah, we not. But my thing is, and I'm saying this that it's not. We not gonna get no Jamar Chase at 22. We're gonna get a good receiver. We're gonna get another Rashad Bateman type receiver at 22.
What you talking about? EDC don't value wide receivers. He's drafted more than Ozzy does in the first round. Come on.
Way more than Ozzy has in receivers, bro. You need to change that to Greg Roman and value the wide receivers.
Yeah, I gotta say what happened once he brought him in the house. Eric DeCosta values the wide receivers.
Yeah.
But Greg Roman is like, oh, what'd you bring me? Okay, I appreciate this. And y'all sit over there. Y'all sit over there. Well, I'll take this lineman, I'll take this, I'll take all this, and I'll take this tight end, I'll make something happen with it. But y'all wide receivers, we'll get to you. You part of the plan somewhere in the midst of it's gonna happen, but yeah, we're gonna be over here with with the rest of the run game and stuff. Oh, you know what? Another person I forgot to mention that might be a little hot is J.K. Dobbins.
I'm playing.
I think he might be a little frustrated right now. With Roman leaving, I think he might be a little better. But
Yeah.
I think even with this offense, like I said, they ran 200 plus yards a game and threw for 250 yards a game. But this is coming out of a formation that is one running back and possibly two tight ends, 12 personnel the majority of the time, or excuse me, let's just go ahead and call it 60-40. 60-40, 11 personnel to 12 personnel the rest of the time, or 40% of the time.
You talking about Monken, or you talking about?
Yeah, with Monken. So let's just say that offense, if it goes that route, how does the running back benefit? Will JK get the rock as much as he wants to get it? Will he get fed?
Yeah, he'll be good. Like, what's the name? Chubb had 1,600. Easy. I'm not saying he's Chubb.
Yeah.
I think he has capabilities to be as good. He's just never getting the opportunity. This is the funny thing about that, is that if you look back when Roman first became the OC, Pat Ricard wasn't used as nowhere near as much. Pat Ricard was doing his job, and he was doing Hayden Hurst's job these past 2 years. I don't know why. Why did you have tight ends and they were supposed to take that spot? Like, Hayden Hurst was the quote unquote fullback in a lot of the schemes. That way, just in case we wanted to pass the ball. And, you know what I mean? But for some apparent reason, Ricard was doing all of this for the don't forget. Yeah. Pat Ricard was doing all this for the past 2 years. I have no idea why. But I don't think he's gonna be here. I think that's gonna be a trade, or they're gonna do something with Ricard. Maybe they're moving back to defense. I don't know. I just don't see I don't see why you would keep him. Like, you don't need him. You know what I'm saying? The tight ends can do what the fullback can do.
Yep.
That's basically what I'm saying. Or you're going to dial it all the way back, because the tight ends, you got two good blocking tight ends in Charlie Kohler, and now Mark Andrews is a better blocker. You might as well just go ahead and dial it back.
Let's see. We got some interesting questions here. Shante says, why do you think the Ravens kept Roman so long? Was that because they wanted him to play out his contract, or were they stubborn when people said the offense was terrible?
Both.
Yeah, I think you don't want to throw out the baby with the bathwater. I'll be honest. Baltimore did something great on the ground. They just were trash in the air, and that was because of Roman. And I think when you see that, hey, he's top 5 in the running game, and just hitting rushing records that you hadn't seen before, you get excited about it. And you don't want to sit here and toss that all the way out and say, I'm done with it. You still wanted to bring in passing concepts. It just didn't go as planned. The plan was to actually involve more of a passing game.
It's the problem. Did we really bring in anybody that was helping with the passing concepts, or did we bring in guys, okay, we need you to coach up the receivers to be.
They brought in coaches to coach up receivers, but they did not involve them on the game planning.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm. So basically, it was still Roman's concept. That's basically what I'm getting at. You know what I mean by me saying that? Like we were a right-handed team.
Yeah.
We rarely ran anything to the left. When things got tight, we always ran it to the right. Every time. Even that interception that Lamar threw against Buffalo. Like that was the worst passing concept ever. Like and on top of that, we was on the right hash mark. Like why are we still pushing it to the right? And we on the right hash mark.
I will give him credit though. That drive was the best drive of the game all the way down the field
Yeah.
until the pick.
I'm just saying as far as like Lamar was throwing it up and giving it a chance. I understand that, but you know, it was just bad. It was too easy. He made it too easy for the defense.
Yeah.
You
And
know
I
what I
think just when it comes to just Greg Roman, it's like, all right, he gets one dimensional. Very much one dimensional, especially when it came to the passing concepts later on in the season before Lamar got hurt last year. It was just like, okay, we know everything is going to the flats here in the red zone to the right side. Like everybody can see this. Like, why are they not mixing this up? You know, what can I get a mesh that goes to the opposite side? Can we actually just get, everybody line up and go ahead and rush it the way we did it against the Seahawks? Where, you had all those heavies on the line and just push the pile. Make it happen.
Yeah.
And I think they didn't get creative. And I think that's why Roman got fired or not fired, but basically they agreed to part ways. He got fired because of the fact that it just was not happening with the creativity. And when you do that in the game, you get stagnant in the game. That's where you're going to have the most problems at. And I'm hoping because of the versatility we're seeing with Monken that you're going to see so many different concepts come out, even in one game. That's what we want to see is it all roll out in one game, that versatility. Now, what I did see during that championship, and maybe it was because it was just Alabama, but you started to see so many of the same things happening over and over again in the first half. And there was a change up in the second half to where they went a little bit more through the air, but they really were trying to establish the ground game against Alabama, and it just wasn't happening. And that's where that offense became stagnant. The second they came out in the second half and started going more to the air, you started to see some things start to come. They started to develop a little bit more of the change up, but it was still bunch. That's what I kept seeing the entire time was bunch. Bunch was the game plan. And they run trips, have two tight ends on one side and a wide receiver on the back end over here. And that's how they ran their entire offense the entire game. And I'm hoping that there's change ups throughout the games when we have those stagnant issues.
Reg is full. He's a fool. Reg out of control.
Oh my gosh. Think about it. The last time we fired a offense coordinator, I say not last time. One of the times we fired an offense coordinator, Cameron, he went down to LSU and he did pretty well down in LSU. It's just the change ups.
The last one though.
Huh?
Mark Trustman, they let him go.
Yeah.
During the season though.
Yeah, and of course the other guy Roman replaced. They let him go. And I just feel like there's opportunities for this offense that Roman is running to work elsewhere because once he goes to different organizations and it starts out great. It's just it gets stagnant because people start to catch on. With Monken, people ain't catching on. He is putting up the numbers to show, and that's why I feel like as many people are dogging Monken and saying that this wasn't the pick. I feel like this was a excellent pick. With the enemy, we're not sure what we're getting.
Mind you, y'all, if y'all didn't know, Monken wanted to come here. He turned down the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because he wanted to come here.
That's what I said. Stacey Dash versus Halle Berry. You know what I'm saying?
Come here. He want to be in Baltimore. There got to be a reason that he want to be in Baltimore. So that my reason when I heard that had to be because of Lamar. Like he's never had a quarterback of this caliber that he's coached up, that he's helped become a good quarterback. Like the last time we had a coordinator that was a quarterback, you think Gary Kubiak played quarterback at one time?
I can't remember. Yes, I'm pretty sure somebody in the comments can answer that one.
I believe he did, but I mean, he just never had anybody at this caliber.
We thought T was going to be that dude, but it didn't pan out that way either.
He needed to just stay there and learn some more. I heard he might be going to Michigan though to be the OC.
Yeah, I guess trading, a little exchange over there. Maybe he goes there, gets some tutelage, and
if
then
you
comes
want to
back
say
to
anything about the Hogs, boy, you can say one thing. Once you in that circle, boy, you gonna get paid. You gonna
you
make sure.
friends for life.
Yeah,
You got a job. Don't worry about it. I got you, baby.
yeah. You can definitely you gonna get something out of it, man.
Yeah.
So
So like I said, it's just with Monken, y'all got to realize that, like I said, last week we felt a certain way. We wanted Eric Bieniemy, but at the same time, I don't think Harbaugh knew exactly what he was getting out of that either. And I think he's just like, hey, look, you know what? I know you want to run things a certain way, but how are we running it? How are you running this? Are you fully committed?
he got to that point. I think he requested, he wanted to talk to him, but at the time it was between him and Brian Johnson.
Yeah.
Brian Johnson turned it down because he already knew he was going to be the OC here
Okay.
at the Eagles. So why are you going to leave? Especially with you got Hurts, and Hurts is somebody you've known since he was a kid. So you're gonna stay with what you know, right? And then
Here's something really good here. So Adit says, thoughts on them talking to Kingsbury about a spot on the staff. This is before Monken was hired. Maybe Kingsbury becomes assistant to build his value back up. Usually when you hire an assistant, you're trying to plug somebody in just in case things don't work out with the guy you hired.
I think they were trying to do that just in case it didn't work out as far as if they didn't have Monken.
Yeah.
It was no guarantee they was gonna get Monken at the time.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, we got Kingsbury here, and Kingsbury would have come in and he would have been a great stand-in if things did not work out. But being he got Monken, I think they're very confident in that pick, and I don't think Kingsbury is going to be joining the staff.
I think Monken is a lot better coach than Kingsbury anyway. Sorry. Not sorry.
Yeah. I mean, Kingsbury, I don't know. I like.
He wasn't more successful than Monken was. That's the thing that bugged me out. You went straight from college. You was at Texas Tech as a head coach, and then you went right to the Arizona to be a head coach in the league. It's not like you was at Texas Tech dominating.
He was running air raid over there, and he was excited about it. I think it was an exciting offense to see. But
yeah, Monken knows the air raid. He ran the air raid with Oklahoma State.
Oh yeah, he ran air raid. He ran bunch. He ran a little bit of everything.
I don't know. Kingsbury, I think he better off just he's gonna make money anyway sitting down. So just sit down.
Yeah, now, what I didn't see out of Monken, I didn't see I formation. You see I formation at all in any of his tapes?
Who?
Monken.
I think back with Cleveland, but that was probably like on short distance though.
Yeah, I mean, I did see with Cleveland. I might have saw some I formation.
Like every now and then they would jump with the two tight ends.
Yeah, but yeah, they throw a tight end in there as the fullback or whatever. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's why I said Pat Ricard he ain't gonna be here. You got three capable tight ends that can line up as a fullback and be a blocker.
Okay. Yeah, and I think that's going to be where Mr. Red Boots is going to be short.
Bro, you're not doing your job because you're supposed to hit us. It's 2 hours in.
Oh yeah, we send that 2 hours. All right. So what topic do we need? What do we need to discuss on Wednesday?
Good question, brother.
Because I'm thinking we have gone pretty heavy into the other offense coordinator search. I feel like we need to start going into positions, and I don't know. I feel like we need to start.
You can start looking at these corners.
Yeah, we can start with the corners.
We can look at the receivers later, but let's start looking at these corners first because until we got, even if we do bring back Marcus Peters, I need that 3-man rotation at the cornerback spot.
Yeah. I feel like we should, revisit something we talked about last offseason. I know you were a big fan of Duck Storm, or was it Storm Duck? I feel like he need to come on back.
Who are you talking about?
I'm talking about Storm Duck, man. Storm Duck.
The corner?
Yeah.
That's your boy.
I know that's my boy. I was messing with you.
I was like, who? This is a video game.
Storm Duck, baby. Like 6 foot, 195 pounds out of North Carolina. This dude, like I said, he was balling the year before. I didn't look at the stats from this year, but I was hoping that his stock had risen. I don't think it did. So I got to look and see what he did this past year. But he was supposed to be coming out as one of the top corners last year, but he did not come out. So, of course, I'm hoping there's an opportunity for him this year to rise up the boards. Is the combine, you got a date on the combine?
No, I don't have a date right now.
I might have to talk to my expert Damien because he'll actually be attending the combine.
Yeah, I think it's the 24th if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
I think that what date is that? The 24th is a Monday, is it not?
I don't know. I think I gotta go.
24th is a Friday, so it's probably either like the the uh the third week in June in March, isn't it? So
I
maybe
got Tuesday the 28th through March the 6th.
okay.
So
So
we want to be seeing
March
who got invited to the combine. I want to see who's got invited to the combine, and then just talk about some of the people that are going to be there and what we're expecting out of that.
so it's starting the 28th. It's February 28th.
Yep, that's what I got. The day as see, I got to go back to work the day after. So yeah, 'cause I'm in
Okay,
all
I'm
this
way
stuff.
off. I'm all the way early. I'm all the way up there by the draft. Okay, all right,
Oh,
yeah.
and Nana wants to talk about the presser or Lamar's possible tag. And maybe we'll
Yes,
bring that up as well.
press is tomorrow.
Yep.
Talk about that on Wednesday. And
Yep. I mean, Tuesday is not a good night for me.
he ain't being tagged.
And then what is Big Red saying? Your boy a free agent.
Oh yeah,
Hmm.
I think he coming back though.
Anthony Averett?
Yeah, he only did a 1 year deal.
Oh, okay.
think
I
he
mean,
coming-
that would be a great addition to come to Baltimore. I mean, the Raiders got him for cheap.
Yeah, and he know the system,
And
so it could work for him.
I think that'd be a significant add. Put him back over there on the other side with Hump. And I think
Yeah.
then, you have
He didn't do bad that year either. He had 3 picks. He didn't. It's just that was his first true year getting an opportunity to start, so he didn't do too bad.
mhm.
So I could see that happening too.
Yeah, I think he definitely his confidence level rose when he was playing, when he was forced into the starting position with us. And then I think that's where he was like, hey, I feel like I'm going to get a lot of money out there in free agency. And then he found out that he wasn't going to get as much as he thought. And the Raiders ended up getting him for cheap. I feel like he can kind of Baltimore knows his value. So his agent, if he's playing that right, he's going to get him paid. But I feel like he should come to Baltimore for cheap. And then, things didn't work out with the Raiders.
Yeah, we get him, and then we just got to get a 3-man rotation going again. I really feel like we were better when we had that going at the corner position.
Yeah, Brooke, you gotta pay attention, girl. We talking about Anthony Averett. But I
When's
think
your birthday, Big Reg? The 28th.
what did he say? Well,
He said that's my B day.
oh,
He must be talking about the combine, the 28th.
yes.
Make sure we tell you happy birthday on that day, brother.
Mm-hmm.
So happy birthday now.
Hey, happy birthday. We'll definitely tell you happy birthday too when that comes up, man. Hey, we just want to say thank you so much. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for rocking with us. Like I
Yes,
said,
sir.
we had 11:55 strong. So if you see any of those 11:55, go ahead and smack them upside the back of the head. Let them know, they need to be here. For y'all couch rider loyal ones, your Big Reg, Nana, Brooke, y'all are so amazing. Thank you so much for coming all the way through it. I know I'm missing out so many people. Pay the bills. Thanks for, I know you're a new one, Adit, you always rocking with us. Fishing with Gabe, appreciate you. Robert Gray, if I'm missing anybody out here, Big Reg, like I said, I mentioned you already. Y'all are so great. And like I said, we're gonna continue to build this thing. I don't care what's going on other channels at that particular time. When we show and y'all show up, great things happen. We have a good time. And I just want to say I appreciate y'all from the bottom of my heart. We still building. Tell a friend, tell a loved one about us. Make sure y'all subscribe. Hit the like button, subscribe so y'all know when it's going down. Make sure you hit the bell, that notification bell, because if you did not hit the notification bell, that's only half subscribing and you're not really getting the news or not getting that notification when we go live. We do try to keep it consistent as far as the shows going at 8:45 Central on Mondays and Wednesdays. If you want to, go ahead and help us and support that way, please do. We got a Cash App up here. My son, he keeps bugging me about this. Make sure I put this thing up here because he be on me.
Back at it. Cam is back at it.
You know how Cameron is. He wants his Cash App.
I'm not mad at him one bit.
He'll be on me like white on rice in a snowstorm. Like, man, give me my money. All right, so all those proceeds definitely go to my son's. I guess he's got a business to where he makes little necklaces now. Any proceeds from the Cash App or donations inside the timeline go to Cameron and his fun little habit of making necklaces and starting a business on its own. So proud of him and his efforts. You know, like I said, I don't necessarily need the money, but if y'all want to support, that it's going to go to that little guy down the hallway. We appreciate it. All right, so we're going to say goodnight, and just know that we're excited about the direction the Ravens is going in. We just want to see some magic happen when it comes to this free agency, when it comes to our offensive coordinator, when it comes to just all the things that happen. We want to see a built up offseason that we can be proud of.
Yeah.
So thanks.
I sent you the link, by the way. I'm sorry to cut you off, bro. I
Yeah.
sent you the link for Chop It Up with Camru. You can put that at the bottom of the description. Hopefully, y'all get the opportunity to look at some of the videos I already posted. One with my teacher, like Burley, for 52 for martial arts for 52 blocks. One with Miss Chelsea. She does mentorship, which is really amazing, and also helping people with business ventures and grants. And one also with my producer, Magic Reed. We're actually not really doing a true interview of the normal sense. It's getting an invited look in how I act in the studio when I'm there, just enjoying myself, having fun, and then working. Okay, I'm sorry, bro.
Oh, you got it, bro. Just saying, let me see. Let's read this last comment, and then we're gonna peace out. She said, "Oh, she got to beg for the link." Oh, I don't know what she's talking about. I think she's talking to you about begging.
Really? I sent you everything on your DM.
Mm-hmm.
But have you checked it? No, not never.
I've been checking. She's been too busy on TikTok.
Too busy TikToking, huh?
Mm-hmm. Oh, well. But thanks to y'all tuning in. Thanks for tuning in to the home of original sports perspective from our couch to yours. I'm your couch rider, Raven. It's my main man, Cam Rue.
Sure.
Say 2 claps. Fade to black, baby. Peace.
Peace.
Introducing the couch rider, Raven Report. Let's go. Ravens, Ravens, Ravens. Couch rider. Ravens, Ravens, Ravens. We gon' ride out. Ravens, Ravens, Ravens. Couch rider. Ravens, Ravens, Ravens. We gon' ride out.
For some of you Twitter gangsters, this is just a hobby, original sports perspective. You can't stop me. Couch Rider Report, it's reflective. Please respect it. You will get checked, and your knowledge will be tested. I ain't the coldest Raven, but this is my show. Shout out to the Barry White rap for the beat, though.